Good afternoon and welcome to DXC Arena here at Marara. I'm Will Zay, with me is Chris Barks, and you have got the round 4 clash between PINT Football Club and the Southern Districts Crocs. Pretty interesting game ahead. I think Southern Districts are at the moment undisputedly the best team in the competition. PINT meanwhile find themselves down the other end of the ladder in 7th. Be an interesting game ahead. First home game of the season for PINT here, so they'll be wanting to bring out a pretty strong performance against Southern Districts. But Southern Districts are on a roll. Red hot off a top of the table clash last week against Tiwi Bomb. 3 goals, and they'll be hard to stop. Buxy, you there with me? Not yet. No, we'll keep pandering out before Buxy gets his headphones. We're just having a few technical difficulties here, but that's all right. What I can tell you is it's bloody hot out there. Yeah, really hot afternoon ahead of us. You can feel the sweat rolling down. It's pretty still out there as well, so there's not a lot of wind relief coming through for the players, let alone for the crowd. I think best seat in the house is the timekeeper's box, so if you're up there, well done. You've pulled the winning ticket out. But yeah, we'll have a great game ahead. Just looking through the lineups, and Jared Brander out for the second week in a row for Southern Districts, so they'll have to find some other avenues to goal. That shouldn't be too much of an issue, though, you wouldn't think. Last week, they managed to put Tiwi Bombers to the sword with a fair spread. Jed Anderson and Will Farah kicked 2 goals each, otherwise it was singles all across the ground. And I think what we've said a few times this year, and they've done very well in the off-season, is they've recruited properly, both in terms of their local talent they've developed over a few years, and some of their fly-in talent as well. They've picked the creme de la creme. They've got some of the best players you've got going around in the NTFL. Jed Anderson and Stevie Motlop, 2 to name a few. Jared Brander, as we mentioned already, obviously missing from today. But nonetheless, there's always 2 teams in PINT. They will be wanting to win, as we said, to get their first win in front of their home crowd today. Ball goes up. Wyatt Ryan gets the tap out there. Can't take it cleanly. Looks like there's a free kick for a hold early. Buxy, you got your headset on?
Yep, we're on.
We're rolling. We're away. So PINT launch to centre half forward. Oh, fly from the back. Coming out the back will be Chris Neild. Overruns it though. Handball now comes out wide to McQueen. Free kick off the ball as well. Hold on there. Whistle to start this one. Wonder if that will be the trend of the day. Works back there from Sexton. He goes to McQueen across the face of goal. Now works out to Stevie Motlop. Interesting to see Stevie start this season on the half-back line, Buxy.
Yeah, he played half-back last year for PINTs, and yeah, he's just finding his feet with Districts.
They work it down now. Find Farah. Goes to centre half forward where he finds Anderson. Would have picked up a few votes, you'd think, in the Nichols medal voting so far. That's a beautiful kick there. Goes to the lead of Jack Sexton. And he will line up early in this one. A minute in, and already Southern Districts have their first shot on goal.
The Sexton boys from Finley area and played VFL for Southport this year in the losing grand final. Also with Matt Shannon in the middle for Districts.
Very formidable outfit, and Sexton's kick fades, but it fades late, so it's gone through for a goal. And Southern Districts on the board in this one. The first goal goes to Sexton, and it's Will Sexton.
Yeah, got another brother playing out there, Sexton as well. Also just PINTs off half back there, and going to be hard to stop with Motlop, Bowden. They got plenty of class down there. So PINTs will have to be very defensive with their forward line.
Yeah, also got Jake McQueen, who I don't think has played so far this season, maybe just the one game. He's back in the side, and moved a little bit into the midfield, Bo Schwartz, but we know he can play there as well and do a pretty good job off half back. Ryan, another hit out though. Motlop in the middle. That kick will go forward. At the fall of it is Shannon, gets a fist to it, and then looks like Big Ben Cameron kicked the ball into a pack of players, ricochets and goes backwards. Southern Districts get a mark at half forward through Mitch Bidmaid. He gives it off there now to McQueen. McQueen goes long, and that one fades to the left. They're behind on the board as well, 7-point lead.
Also another first gamer for the season is Roy George. Spent some time in the VFL for Casey Demons.
handy acquisition. As we said, their top end talent is really good. They just seem to nail those recruits, particularly this year. It'll be hard to stop. Punt work backwards, get it to the back flank, safe kick. They've got an option near the interchange bench if they want. They won't go there. Oh yes, they will now. So it's Ben Smythe. He's got a short option in Skeen McMahon if he wants. Not really giving it a look though. He'll cut back and they're going for the switch now. Through McKimmie. Oh, not a great kick. Looks like it'll be Bidmade intercepting. Push in the back and Southern Districts will have a free kick. Probably can't quite work out the markings on the ground here, but you'd say just on the 50.
Just Pint's really trying to chip that ball around. If you're going to play that game, you really got to make sure your skills up and hit them targets. Districts will hurt you on the rebound.
Southern Districts already seeming to grab control of this one. Goes a short pass instead to a better placed Stevie Motlop, and dare say a better skilled Stevie Motlop as well. Obviously played a lot of games in the Geelong Hoops in the Port Adelaide teal, black and white colours.
Yes, he's a class and a very good leader out there, and that's hard to stop having him and Anderson out there. Pints will be looking to their captain Tom Schultz to try and lift the team playing through the midfield.
In comes Stevie Motlop, kicks towards goal, and he likes that one. They're second on the board. Southern Districts get an early break.
Pints has just got to try and win the contested ball and hold possession. Try and stop District's run.
Jai Bolton also named today. He's a very handy footballer. I think he was listed with Collingwood and then has played a fair bit of footy with Swan Districts in the Waffle. Potentially also for Southport. I'll have to check my facts on Southport, but I know he's a very handy medalist and think he might have won a Sandover as well. So again, he's played up here for a few years, Bolton, but they just have superstars all across the park. And in the back line, of course, Brodie Lake, nearly drafted a few years ago, instead playing his trade here at his home club. Free kick out of the middle. Jed Anderson will take it. He'll get it back. A quick 1-2 with Shannon. Now looking for Sexton. He kicked that early goal. In fact, it was his brother who kicked that early goal. It's Jack Sexton will pick it up now on his left. Kicks it high into a dangerous position in the pocket. Bodies fly. No one takes the football though. Now roved, snap towards goal. Wrong side of the post. Through for a behind. Pint will want to try and be clean out here. They'll get burnt on the turnover if they're not. Out into the pocket. Breaking wide. Tillig a long way away. The target there. Brodie Lake flew. Ball comes out. Now comes out to Sexton. Missed Steve Motlop. Motlop lays a tackle though. Handball gets out and just grub it along the ground for Pint. Kept it alive was Neil. Just paddled it forward. Very tight on the boundary line. They'll be happy with that. Gain some yardage. We'll have a boundary throw in near the 50 for Pint.
Pints need Benjamin Brett to get around the ball up forward. He's quick and pacey. And also Neil played Golden Valley, and I think he's playing in the Essendon District League at the moment. Very good forward from Tasmania originally.
So free kick pulled out of the ruck will go Wyatt Ryan's way. No Matt Dennis in the lineup this week either, off his 100th last week. Just resting the body. So Wyatt Ryan playing, you'd think, a pretty sole role in the ruck today. Intercepted there by, or nearly intercepted by Pint. Matt Johnson cleaned it up though. He goes out wide to Joe Farah. Now to Taj Stanley. Goes inside 50. Good mark there on the lead to Jono Ross. Goes into the pocket now. And a mark behind the play, Will Farah. Just read it very well there, Farah. Tight angle, he'll look to play on. No, in fact, it's a free kick going the way of Pint. So potentially an illegal bump in that contest. Pint now working it down that far side. finds Tillig. They've got some options downfield if they can work it there. That's a good kick to Neild. Neild has now got Riley Main, the big fella, one out in the goal square. Oh, nearly took the mark. Would have been something special. Main still there. There's a 2-on-3. Pint have their hands on the ball. Main dribbles it from the top of the square, and Pint get there first against the run of play. Umpire's just conferring at goals. We'll see what they say. Don't need any advice, they tell the Southern District's defenders.
Never going to change their mind. Just them Pints were really quick, created one-on-ones in their forward line, and it helped them going forward, and a mismatched Motlop on their ruckman also.
So that is confirmed as a goal. Pint get there first through Riley Main. Trail by 8 points.
Good to see Joey Farrow back at the Districts. Played his 100th game last week. Had a good start to the season also for Districts.
Yeah, been very impressive so far this year. Obviously had a colourful career in the NTFL. But he and Will, a lot of the times linking up and pairing up very nicely together.
I think Ben Smythe's on Will Farrow, big job today.
Pint work it out of the middle. Districts work it out of middle forward. Sexton, taken high by the Pint defender. Pint midfielder, sorry. Umpire will call for a ball up though. And now, I think that's Cooper Whitehill. Just trying to get his hands on it for Pint. Comes out, trying to extract it. And they work it out of their back line. Long down the field. Pint plays first to the ball. Andy Jones gets a handball over the top. Now to Tillig again. He's been lively early. Kicks it to the forward flank. Chris Neild will have to work to get to it. Ball got an unkind bounce and went straight down to Giddings. Sexton just had his ball smothered and then followed through with a little bump in play from Jones. Good work there from Andy Jones.
Yeah, very mobile for a big man, Jones. I think he's played a bit of footy at Nathaya in Victoria in the Murray League.
Really nice fella as well, which is always a positive. Gets a handball out, working it forward. Tom shot. Centre half forward. Can't be taken cleanly. And Pingfa holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Southern Districts. Advantage called. No, sorry, advantage not called. Brought back. Taj Stanley. Kick out there to Giddings. Been really good in defence for them so far this year. And Cody Chapman will give the ball back to the umpires on that far side. 11 minutes gone in this first quarter. Southern Districts seem to take control early in this one, but Pine have just wrestled back a bit of the balancer. Ryan on McKimmie in the ruck. You think McKimmie's got a tough task ahead with Big White, Ryan?
Riley Main's playing forward. He's usually the number one ruckman, but
he played a little bit a few weeks ago, so I imagine he'll rotate through there a few times today.
And also Andy Jones can ruck as well.
Now at half back, Pint working it forward. Oh, beautiful kick. Just went through the hands there of Cameron, but they still work it forward. Now launch it to a one-on-one. Chris Neild just balances it well. Can't take the mark, but he can do it at ground level. Kicks through there second.
Just very good body work by Chris Neild then, but Benjamin Brett, great kick. Hurts him on the other side. The Pint's up and about now, back in the game.
And I think that'll be sort of how Pint can crack through the armour of Southern Districts, just get them on the rebound like that. And they've got some talent in their forward line. It's just a matter of getting them one out. Riley Main, Andy Jones and Chris Neild, all big boys, can definitely hold their own.
Roy Joyce has gone down back. Rotating heavily for a 2 o'clock game. Quite warm.
Yeah, particularly in the heat here. As we mentioned, it'll be very hot out there. If you're listening from home in the aircon, you're much more comfortable than we are on the forward flank here at Marara. Ball comes out and then worked through to Cameron. It's been lively early. Can't be clean. Neither can Will Sexton, whose ball was intercepted there by Fuller. Big tackle there on Will Sexton.
Unlucky there. But good footy there, cracking in both teams.
Ball up at centre half back now. Tapped down and gotten out over the back. Bolton got a handball away to a man under pressure. Pint could get them on the overrun here. Comes down to Brett.
And that free kick, Districts.
It's a free kick at half back, and the pace of the game really slowed down the last few minutes, Buxy.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. The fitness is going to be a big one, but David Barnyard gone out to Districts joint coach, and he'll be very big on fitness. So I say Districts will be a very fit team.
Great pass there from Jake McQueen. He's just hit Jack Sexton beautifully on the chest.
Just a class player, Jake McQueen. I think he's playing up Griffith Way or Orange. Had the privilege to coach him in the NT rep side a few years ago. Really good fella and very class player.
He goes towards goal. Just across the face, through for another behind. 3-point margin, Southern Districts way. Riley Main rotating on and looking like he's moving into the middle of the ground, potentially for a spell in the ruck. No, still just skirting up into the forward line. He'll call for the ball here. Instead, at half back, they'll go short to Cameron, who's been around the ball a lot so far in these early stages. Now worked forward, looking for Jones. He takes the mark at high half forward, almost inside the centre square. Rolls round, looking for Tillig. He picks it up on the half volley, runs around, snaps towards goal. How's that one going to bounce? Oh, just the wrong side of the post. Very mobile for a big man as well.
Been very good, Tilly, through the midfield and up forward. He's definitely had a few possessions early.
Will Sexton looking for Shannon. Oh, intercepted by Tillig. There he is again. Having a big impact early. Goes to full forward. Kneeled. Oh, couldn't take the mark. Couldn't make it stick, but he's earned himself a free kick. Umpires just said that Bowden's been caught ball watching. Eyes on the ball, not on the eyes on the play, not on the ball.
Got to be careful, Districts, on that. The turnover. They like to run off and create, but got to push back just as quick. Once again, 1-on-1. Chris Neal.
Oh, hits the post.
Well, unlucky.
Got to make those ones count, particularly against the side as strong as Southern Districts. He'll be disappointed with that. Now comes to Roy George. I think that's his first touch of the day. As he mentioned, played with Casey down south in the VFL and started up forward, but has gone to have a roll down the back line. Here, Jalen Clark moved from Darwin Buffaloes in the off-season. Kicks down the line. Pint there to intercept it, though, at ground level. Here comes George. Bounced off the head of a Pint player. Sexton will have a crack at it, get it back, a little 1-2 with Lake.
Ooh.
And hit on his way through there from Fulton. Now down the half-forward flank, marked by Bolton. He goes and finds Schwartz. Schwartz nearly went to Farah, a short, sharp one, but I think he'll go back and maybe not have a shot, but launch it to the top of the square.
Had a very good season last season, and I'm pretty sure he'll get fired up this season too.
That's where he goes, top of the square. Farah at the back, takes the mark. No, falls, hits the deck. Scramble forward at ground level, wrapped up in a tackle. Jonathan Ross in the thick of it down there.
Jonathan Ross, another player that's played 3 seasons for Districts. Very elusive forward.
Comes down now, still a scram for it. And Pint definitely bringing it today to the ladder leaders in Southern Districts, aren't they?
Yeah, they're playing some good football, keeping the pressure on them.
Trying to work it through. Roy George lurking. Shot on goal. Just tapped through. Another behind for Southern Districts. 2-4 to 2-2. Just a 2-point margin. Now out with Tom's shot. He'll be key to their opportunity today. Coming out, finds Alex McCarthy. And then looks for Tillig. Lake just got in the way and smothered it. Ball goes over the boundary line. Good intercept there from Brody Lake.
Yeah, Brody Lake, class play. It's good to see him back. The local boy. Back at his home club. Interesting setup around the midfield here. No district ruckman, I don't think, for this.
So Josh McCarthy will go up for it. Just taps it down. And then he'll get the clearing kick to the top of the square. Big Riley Main at the back takes the mark. Beautiful.
Push in the back. Yeah.
So free kick to Giddings. Giddings been very good down back so far this year. Really impressed with his game. Bolton now in the back line. Pushes it a bit further to Motlop. Back to Bolton. A few ball magnets there in the back line. Now to Clark. He's got Farah short. Instead he goes long. Good mark there from Bidmade. Rolls it along to Johnson. And now Brody Lake, floater towards the goal square. Bounces through the legs of Farah and touched over the line. That would have been something. A few nearly opportunities, but just unfortunately a few bodies on the way through, wasn't it?
Yeah, very lucky Will Farah. I thought he tried to jump over it. Must have tapped him on the leg.
PINT Messi out of full back. Going down that far side makes it difficult for us to see down here near the PINT cricket nets. And free kick going the way of Southern Districts. Not sure what that one was for. He's Stevie Motlop, and it's been funny seeing him play at half-back, Chris, because he still goes for those check sides and snaps in pretty dangerous positions, but he's so good at them that they just hit the target.
He does, but it's pretty good to have a swing man like that. The game's close, they need a goal, they can flick him forward, he'd be dangerous.
Absolutely, yeah. You think if you do need a Hail Mary goal, he's the one you want kicking it. Now they come back across to Stanley, one of their young guns, takes one bounce, takes a second. Short 45-degree pass beautifully to Will Sexton, who plays on now. He goes into the forward line, clears the pack, picking it up at the back, or trying to, is Ross, but the boundary line will beat him to it. 20 minutes, nearly 21 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Big job for Will Farah today without Brandon down forward. He'll probably take the number one defender.
Geordie Johnson also down there. Hasn't really had an impact yet. He could pop up as a second or third tall with the absence of Brander. And last week they had Dennis playing more forward than in ruck, but he's missing as well. So a little bit shorter than usual up forward. We don't really have great spread across the ground too. I think in round 2 out against Wanderers, they had about 3 or 4 players kick 3 or 4 goals. Here comes Ross running around in front of goal, just snaps it through. There's one of them, and they extend the lead out to 9 points.
Perfect front and centre by Ross. Bolton and Motlop, just the senior experience of them sort of players work deep into defence when the going gets tough and work the ball out. Just great leadership to have as a coach, knowing that you got guys like that on the field. Pints have just got to steady it down and control the ball, hit them targets they're trying to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly in this heat, we were saying it in the game before. You really need to play smarter, not harder, and that means making sure that every kick hits its target. You're not making your teammates work harder than they need to. So on the stroke of quarter time, Ryan gets a tap down. PINT just work it forward through Whitehill at half forward. Jones tries to paddle it down, but there was Sexton taken high on the run through. Now looking out that far side. Again, just a short, sharp one. Oh, good work from Anderson just to sense the occasion, paddle it over the top to Matt Johnson, and he goes through. 2 in a minute for Southern Districts, and they break away.
Just class in Sexton. They're only little fellas, but they put their body on the line and just attack the ball. Their dad's Damien Sexton, played a lot of footy in Country Vic. Very class, and had a stint at AFL as well.
Matt Shannon it was there, sorry, with that goal.
Class Matt Shannon. I think he grew up in Nimerka, Country Victoria.
Yeah,
Dad Coach Katunga.
Been a really good part of this side for a few years, hasn't he?
Yeah, very class player.
Ball up in the middle of the ground. Can Districts add a bit more pain, or can PINT wrangle back something on the scoreboard? Motlop just overran it there. Now Will Sexton, probably been the best on ground, you'd say, so far today. That kick, though, smothered and worked a little bit further forward. Not clean. PINT definitely with an opportunity here. They got a lot of numbers around the ball. Free kick will be paid, going Southern District's way for a higher tackle or a higher infringement. Big mark there by White. Ryan, he'll hold it up, you'd think. 24 minutes gone in this first quarter. 2-2 PINT, 14 trailing Southern Districts, 4-5-29. Anderson marks and then instantly plays on to Motlop. I think they would have practiced that a few times at training.
Yeah.
Shannon.
Yeah, Matt Shannon.
Try to mark it, just bounced off his chest. He's still alive though, Shannon. Running through to it. He'll get the ball now. Not cleanly. Handballs from his wrong side. Farah also applying a bit of pressure. PINT have it in their back line. And that's the first quarter. So it's a 15-point ball game at quarter time. Singles, Stephen Motlop, Will Sexton, Matt Shannon and Jono Ross for PINT. And sorry, for Southern Districts. And for PINT, it's singles to Chris Neild and Riley Main. We'll be back after this quarter time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to DXC Arena here at Marara. I'm Will Zwart, with me is Chris Barks. And we've got a game on our hand. Probably thought that Southern Districts would run away with this one early and keep with it, but PINT definitely have brought it to them so far in this one. 2 late goals extended the margin out to 15 points. Otherwise a pretty neutral contest. And in the middle, Wyatt Ryan trying to get it at ground level as well. Picks it up now, handballs it through. And they're rolling forward. Matt Johnson gets a handball backwards. I think that might be McQueen on the wing there. Gets it to centre half forward. And there's 2 PINT boys there ready to mop it up. Now they go out wide. Find Smythe. There you had Skeen McMahon if you wanted him. Instead he goes out the other side. PINT just assessing their options before they blaze away. We know it's a very, very hot day out here at Marara. And Bucks, obviously you've coached a fair bit of senior footy up here. What do you say to the troops when it's conditions like this?
Yeah, just rotate heavily and prepare before the game from Thursday, drinking plenty of water. Yeah, but just your rotations are huge on a day like today, and being disciplined doing them rotations.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like there's a few, sort of from both sides, a few potential ruck matchups, I guess, in the instance that they need to keep rotating them through. Obviously, Wyatt Ryan doesn't have Matt Dennis out there with him, as he's had the first few rounds of this season. But for PINT, there's, as we mentioned, Andy Jones, Riley Main. I think doing it at the moment is Harry McKimmie, so they've got a few options to do contests in the ruck. Here comes Johnson. Johnson to Johnson. Geordie couldn't take the mark in the forward line. Free kick paid though for a trip, and it'll go the way of Southern Districts.
Kicking in danger, I think that was unlucky.
So Jalen Clark, I think it is lining up for goal here in the forward line. Will open the account, you'd think, for Southern Districts in this second quarter.
Going back to the rucks, I think, yeah, PINTs will be trying to work over young Ryan. He's very good ruckman, and he's pretty fit too, and he's only young, so big job though, rucking all day.
Jalen Clark happy with that one. Gets it through, and they extend their lead out now to 21 points. PINT need to be careful not to let it slip away from them. But they've done well so far to stick with the Crocs for the most part.
PINT's just got to tighten up on their bit more defensive in their midfield, I reckon. Create one-on-ones and try and get a contest. Districts are very good at just pushing the ball forward.
So back in the middle, you can see Bolton, Shannon and Bidmaid starting in there for Southern Districts. Fulton, Cameron in there for PINT. Coming off the wing though, Joe Farah. Hit the deck. Slipped over at the wrong time. Bidmaid gets a handball over to Farah, who's gained his feet again. Then from Clark through. And now Jai Bolton comes in. Shot on goal. He loves that one. And easy as you like. Another one onto the board.
Just a class and quick hands around the contest. Created space, running for each other. If Joe Farah didn't slip over, I think he would have had a shot at him.
Yeah, it's been a bit like that today. Obviously, it's quite hot. There was a storm in through Darwin last night, which was made for wet conditions then. Doesn't really feel too moist at all here, but it might just be a little bit of a damp turf, potentially, or just general sweat going on out there.
It's a Australia cricket ground look after this, and the grass is pretty slick, so it is pretty slippery on feet.
Back in the middle, Bolton with that last one. Will look to get the clearance here. Caught the wrong side of his opponent. Now comes out from shot. Southern Districts, PINT working it backwards to go forwards. It doesn't work out though. Whitehill trying to work it forward. Not clean with the ball. Now comes to Fulton again. Work forward from Tillig. Very impressive in that first quarter, Tillig. Southern Districts just get it out of their back line into the safe hands of Cody Chapman. He plays on, working it down that far side. Now with Clark, gets it to the runner. I think that's back to Chapman and a handball again. Good link-up play. We'll come back to Schwartz. Running forward, looking for Ross in the middle but couldn't hit a target. Good work from the defender to pick it up and keep it in front of him. Fulton, he's been around a lot of the ball. Now goes in the middle of the ground. Gets it onto the runner. Brett to Whitehill. And then the kick. Bit of a blaze away. Not really to the advantage of Main at all. Giddings takes it. Now gets it out to Sexton. And then they work it to Johnson in the middle. Sexton had to be smooth. Was it? Handballed and picked up his own handball. Very crafty play. Now works it half forward with Jonathan Ross. Comes back in to Chapman. Almost playing a bit of keepings off, which I imagine is no fun for the Pint boys in this weather. Shot. In fact, it was Fulton again, sorry. Gets it to Cooper Whitehill. Over the top now. Intercepted, though, by Matt Shannon, and just didn't really have a good look at the danger around the ball there. That one's spoiled. Comes to Ross at ground level. Handballed it to Clark. Clark trying to keep it in front of himself. Umpire calls for a free kick. Will go the way of Pint in their back line. Jed Anderson. Now it comes out to Tom Reeves. And Sexton picks it up on half forward. He'll launch from a long way out. Goes to goal. Dribbles it through. Very happy with that. His second for the day.
Just Pints are all sort of pushed deep, but they're just bombing it out, not taking control, trying to control possession there, and Districts are really set up well. And their pace around the ball's hurting Pints a bit. So Pints' coach will be thinking what he can do to win that ball back. A couple of players to lift, and I feel they need to slow it down a bit, try and take possession. But credit to Districts, playing really well.
Yeah, they are just playing a game that you think for them would be really fun. They're getting a lot of them are getting a lot of touches of the ball, and they are sort of playing a little bit of that keepings off, just handballing it, cheeky little 1-2s between 2 or 3 plays here and there. For Pint, they can't really catch a break when they're moving like that. Margin now out to 33 points. That happened very quickly. 7.5 gone in this second quarter, sorry. Mark taken by Stevie Motlop at half-back, who we forget, this is his first time playing against Pint as his old club, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, he played last year, had a great season with Pints, and went to Districts. Great asset to Districts.
Do you think he or the side will be using that as motivation to try and get one up, or do you think he'd just be going about his business?
He's just very professional, Stephen, and just go about his business.
Ball goes over the top. Tillig picks it up, rolls round, kicks it to Main all by himself in the goal square, takes an easy mark. And he'll walk back. And you'd think take a shot from here.
Yeah, moved the ball well then, caught Districts out a little bit, Pints, but I just don't know whether they can keep doing it for another 2.5 quarters. Just got to lift a few leaders in the team, Pints. A few more players. Tilling, Fulton's been really good.
So Main kicks it straight through, nearly over that back fence. And they reduce the margin back to 27 points, but they've got a task ahead of them.
And it's always hard, a new coach coming in. I think you got here a week before the season started. Takes a bit for players to work out game plan and get to know the coach and, yeah, put that into a game. Doesn't happen overnight.
Had a good win first up against Buffaloes, but since then it's been pretty tough. Losses to St Mary's last week and the Tiwi Bombers, who were on fire the week before.
Pretty big game too. They really need to win this one to keep in sync with the top.
Yeah, arguably they've had the 3 strongest opponents in the last 3 weeks as well, this week included. But good test for them. Here comes Johnson working it forward. Free kick will be paid going Pints' way. Very heavy green and gold army in the crowd here today. As I mentioned, their first home game here of the season. Kick it down the line on that far side, just spills over the boundary line. Have a boundary throw in. So just forward of centre on the wing for PINT. The ball comes in. Try to punch down there was Josh McCarthy. Again over the boundary line. 10.5 minutes gone in this second quarter.
There's a slight breeze going to TIO, I think. Not very...
It's a little blustery. Yeah, you can sort of hear it in the mic there. There's a little bit of wind around, but not heaps, and when it is, it seems to be changing direction all the time. That left end of your screen as well. In the last game, I think majority of goals were kicked going that way. Here they go now. Southern Districts enter inside 50. Free kick will be paid going their way.
Captain Bowden.
Just on his range. You'd think he'd look to give it off. Just waiting for an option. Goes out in the pocket where he's got Anderson, but the kick wasn't good. Anderson tried to keep it alive, just patted over the boundary line.
First season as captain for Michael Bowden. Played a lot of... I'd be surprised how many games he would have played for Districts. I think he was Districts junior.
A couple of hundred over the years.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's that old. He's been a class player for him.
Ball over the boundary line again. In that forward pocket. Dangerous position here for PINT. They don't want to let Southern Districts get an easy one. However, if they can get them on the overrun on the counter-attack, here comes Roy George, slips over on that slippery deck as we mentioned. Big White Ryan goes inboard. George couldn't take the mark. Runs through though, collects it, and then loses it. Now PINT, they could be away here. Kicks it to the run of Brett. He's got a one-on-one inside 50. He's played that very well to Neild. Neild on Bowden. Bowden you'd think would get to it first. He does, and he's got Giddings in support. He'll get a 1-2 and back with Bowden now in the pocket. Goes outside now. Running onto it will be Stanley. He gets it. He's got a man to beat. Just got boot to ball in the nick of time. Now picked up by Shot. And great tackle from the Southern Districts player in
Matt Shannon.
Yep. Just put on the afterburners. He goes to George, just over the top of him. Bit too hot. Big bump from George.
Ooh.
Looks like
Unlucky.
they'll come in to remonstrate.
Oh, he must have hit him high. I didn't think he did.
And Ben Smythe gets to his feet.
Smythe has had trouble with his shoulders, so...
Yeah, runner just going out to him, checking in on him.
Don't think there'd be much in that. It's a good bump.
Maybe just a little bit of a winding.
They've set up points already, which is proactive.
So Smythe just calling for a few options. Doesn't really like anything he sees, so he'll switch it across now to Pendle. He's got Main long down the line. He'll go a little bit shorter instead. Finds Brenton Reid. Now he goes down the line. Centre half forward. Jones probably jumped a little bit too early. And Shannon at the back, just there to mop them up. He goes out wide now to Sexton. Best player in that first quarter for mine. Dropped off a little bit since then. He goes back to Motlop. Motlop now across the face. Or in the danger zone. Getting onto it and rolling towards goal, but across the face ultimately was Alex McCarthy.
Unlucky points then. Districts took the chance. Got to hit them targets when you're crossing the face of goals. Opposition goals.
Steve Motlop from fullback. Just hits the target there in Anderson. Now with McQueen out wide. Goes long to George. Beautiful kick. Good mark as well. Goes into the pocket. Very deep, very tight. A bit too tight there for Farah and bounces over under the light tower there. So it'll be a free kick going to Pint. Missed opportunity there for Southern Districts. Inboard now with Smythe. Umpire says play on. He goes down to Main. Ball spills out just in front of us here to the commentary box.
Just Districts then set up really well behind the ball. Forced Pints to kick down the line to their tools. Not sure who the other ruckman is for Districts, 22.
Connor Giddings usually played at full back. He nearly got one away there. I think he might have to Shannon and then to Bolton. Bolton cops and absorbs the bump and then gets it back. But the ball goes over the boundary line.
Just watching Bolton then, just very balanced. Two guys bumped him and he kept his feet and controlled. Very experienced player. Waffle.
Yeah, and I think listed with Collingwood. Don't know if he ever played a game with them, but obviously they've been a very good club for a long time, unfortunately, for non-Collingwood supporters. And I think he was with them potentially in their 2010-2011 days, Bolton. And they were competing for grand finals back then. Ball goes up now. Now kicked to centre half forward for Pint. Free kick going their way. It'll go to Brett. Plays on from the top of 50. Very wide into the pocket. Made Tillig work for it. Still making him work. Ball hits the boundary line. 26-point margin here.
Looks dangerous, Tilling, when he's down forward. They're not hitting their targets when they're going in. Kicking to advantage. And a credit to District's defence.
Yeah, they do. I think when you look at the names and the numbers they've got in their forward line, they've got a bit of manpower. It's just if they can get it to them cleanly enough, which today hasn't happened often, unfortunately. And Southern Districts, I mean, their strength probably is their midfield. So much talent there and so many players around the ground who can roll through there. Here comes Shannon, one of those gun midfielders, takes one bounce, takes his second bounce, but it gets away from him. Didn't matter as Anderson offers the bump and Shannon had the composure to dance around his opponent. Clark couldn't take the mark though. Paddles it to himself now. Anderson will come in, take it, get through. Wrapped up in a tackle, got a handball out. George trying to gather it. He's tackled as well. Gets it down. Big strong tackle on McQueen there. And he'll get a free kick, as you said, for a dangerous tackle.
Just flat-footed then.
Pint supporters not happy, and that's a beautiful kick inside 50 to Jed Anderson. Kicked the sealer last week.
Just the class of Jed then, just going to protect, give that shepherd for Matt Shannon. Fumbled and then he controlled it again. Then Jalen Clark's second and third efforts were great down in that forward then, 50, that contest.
So here comes Anderson, inside 50. He likes that, and he gives a little shot towards the Pint cheer squad.
Went over to their huddle at quarter time, and it was good. A lot of leadership there, and Jed Anderson took control, talking to the players about setting up around the midfield and pushing defensively.
He's been a great addition. This is his first season with them, or his second season?
Second season with them. Last year he was working in Catherine, just travelling up, but now he's at training, I think. But just have leadership like that, Stephen Motlop, Bolton, around your young group, makes them stand up.
So the margin now out to 32 points. What can Pint do to respond? Ryan, he gets a grubber along the ground. Might work for them though. Gets a handball over the top to Roy George inside 50. Goes for the lead of Anderson instead, and he could kick 2 in a minute. Great asset to the team. Obviously, we're just talking about his leadership as well, but he can play midfield. He can play out of square or deep forward, and very explosive off the lead as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and just stands up in them tight contests. Yeah, he'd be a hard player to play on. And as a midfielder around a contested ball, you'd be a bit worried because he's a very good tackler.
Well, that one, not a great kick. Punch through for a behind. 33 points the lead.
I think he's stuck on 99 AFL games. I think on 98.
3 clubs, Hawthorn, North Melbourne, and then Gold Coast Suns. Around Hawthorn in the early part of last decade when they were winning flags as well, so knows what a premiership environment feels like. Ball dribbles out, side 50, Pint just trying to create something on the counter attack. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter. And mentioned it just after quarter time, Barksy, but hot conditions at half time, do you think they'd all be jumping into the aircon or weathering the storm?
Yeah, you definitely go into the aircon. Unless you've got a good shade and a bit of wind, you want to keep them outside. I was always a big believer. But you ask your leadership group what they want. I noticed Pints went into the aircon and Districts just stayed under the shade.
And since then, 4 goals to Southern Districts and just the 1 to Pint in this quarter. Michael Bowden with the free kick. Didn't quite see what the discrepancy was there. Looks like he'll just launch long into the pocket. Turned over now in the hands of Josh McCarthy. Potentially has a switch on. Doesn't really like anything immediately down the line, but he'll bomb it long. Looking for Riley Main. Couldn't mark it. Now spills out the back. Chasing the ball there was Whitehill, but the umpire downfield has pulled out a free kick going Pint's way. So it's with Skeen McMahon at the moment. Just trying to work out what options he has. Now he goes down the line to Whitehill. 2 Whitehills out there today. Cooper and Jackson. Skeen McMahon with the mark. Down the line. Intercepted there by Jai Bolton. Mentioned he's kicked a good goal in this second quarter. And that kick down the line from Southern Districts just rolls over the boundary line. A lot of tired bodies out there. You definitely think that they'd be wanting to rest up and come out firing for the third quarter, particularly for the Pint boys, or it could be a long afternoon.
Yeah, you just want to slow it up as much as you can.
So ball comes down. Pops out the back. Dribbled through and then worked forward. Kick towards goal. And it's gone through.
That hurts in red time. Pints would be disappointed with that, their coach. Letting the goal sneak through in red time, really got to shut that out down.
Extend the lead out to 38 points, which, very, very difficult challenge for Pint in the second half, and particularly in these weather conditions.
Yeah, just got to reset though. Pints go in at half time, just reset, start again and try and win the next quarter. Find it very hard. Districts are up and about at the moment. They're running, still running.
I think it was Bo Schwartz who kicked that one for those playing along at home.
And just their depth of midfielders, their first depth and their second depth's just as good, which is hard to control.
So 5 goals for the quarter for Southern Districts. Tom shot, he kicks it forward. Good mark there from Jones. Plays on, wheels round. That one probably further afield than he would have liked, but the siren beats them anyway. So half-time, it's a 6-goal and 2-point margin, 38 points in favour of Southern Districts, 9-5-59. They lead PINT 3-3-21. We'll be back after this half-time break.
Love exploring? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to DXC Arena here at Marara. Round 4 action of the NTFL 2024-25 season. It's Southern Districts with a 38-point lead at half-time over PINT. Pretty interesting first quarter there. PINT definitely giving it to them, but Southern Districts broke away in that second quarter. On Willswar with me, Chris Barks. Who do you see as the better players in that first half?
Pints, I thought Tilling was good for the 2 quarters. Fulton got into it, and Cameron and all midfielders except for Tilton went forward a bit. And for the Districts, hard to pick, but Will Sexton's been best on for me so far. Motlop and Jed Anderson, obviously class players.
Yeah, a lot of the usual suspects there for Southern Districts, but they've got such a good side. You can put a blanket over probably half the side and nominate them for better players. Even just looking at that centre square now, Wyatt Ryan had a pretty easy game in the ruck, and we know he can do it at ground level as well, which he's been doing. Matt Shannon, for me, he's probably been one of the better ones on ground, along with Will Sexton, I'd say. But Jed Anderson as well. He kicked a goal in that quarter, nearly had a chance at a second, but just pushed it across the face. So 38 points, the deficit for PINT. What can they do in this second half as the ball goes up? Ryan taps it down now. It gets a handball away. PINT just trying to work it out, but can't quite. Sock it off the ground. Comes to Motlop at half back. He kicks it to Johnson of the Matt variety, running out into that wing. Geordie Johnson playing up in the forward line today. Been pretty quiet, Geordie Johnson. Now with Bidmaid. Bidmaid into the forward line. Roy George throws it onto the left, bounces it, hits Farah on the legs and on his run through, and goes over for a point. Farah boys a little bit quieter today, Chris?
Yeah, they have been quiet. Will, obviously, hard work without Brander up forward.
Ball comes back inside 50 for Southern Districts. Only gets it as far as a PINT defender. They work it out there now. Comes to Matt Johnston again. Short one over the top of George. It goes to his hands. Puts on a tackle, puts on some pressure. Maybe not the best kick there. Jack Sexton in hot pursuit, but the ball spills over the boundary line.
Just with Districts, you talk about Farrows haven't had much impact, but they've probably spread the load across the ground. But Joey Farrow, Raiders a big game player. When the game's close, he comes into it.
Ball comes in. Ryan wrangles his opponent. Free kick paid for holding the man, and it'll be going PINT's way in that back flank. Riley Main just in front of us as well. He's been pretty good when he has seen it today, though, playing at full forward. They haven't had a lot of opportunities. He'll go up for it now. Ball falls at his feet. Get the handball away. Good kick down the line. Neiled gets it there to the run of Tillig. From outside 50, launches it, but just not enough pepper on it, and it stays this side of the goals through for a behind.
Tillings, just found out he's from St Arnard in Victoria. Played there last season.
Yeah, he's been really good today, Jack Tillig. Stevie Motlop kicks it out that far side. Bit too far and over the boundary line.
Bit of a breeze that way, I feel, because Steve's usually a pretty good kick.
Well, he has made a career out of it, hasn't he?
Yes.
So just fetching the ball from over the fence there. It'll be Ben Cameron, who's been pretty good in the midfield for PINT today as well. Very tight angle. Imagine he'll go for the hot spot, top of the goal square. A bit shy of that, but in the general direction. Marking the back is Connor Giddings. A little bit of ruck today when it's been in their back line. Been very good this season. Now finds Jalen Clark. Goes out, finds Joe Farah. Handball off. Gets it wide to Jack Sexton. Made him work for it. Just slips through his hands. Clark dived on top of it. Richie Pendle with ball in hand and then worked out from Sexton. Got involved. Clark tackled without it. Almost taken 360, but the umpires let it go. Handball now comes out. and kick forward by McCarthy, but there'll be a free kick going the way of Pint. And they'll bring it back. So Pint kicked a goal on the end of that chain of play, but the umpire didn't allow it. I don't think he sort of had his eyes on the contest, and instead it'll be brought back looking like Tom Schott will have a free kick from about 65 out.
Wasn't sure what that was for. We missed that.
And it's allowed Southern Districts to set up their back line. I think at this stage of the game they probably would have been happy to let that one go through for a goal, but they'll have to try the hard way. Goes into the forward pocket. Motlop, easy pickings for him. Just trying to direct his teammates. Now here with McQueen. Started the game really well. Good inclusion for them again this week. Bounces off Ryan's chest.
Yeah, he's been quiet, McLean. Very good player though when he gets going. Just the luxury of having so much depth in your midfield for Districts.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one who can roll through there, but he's sort of played off half back today. Such is their depth. Wyatt Ryan in front. Shannon got it out to Ryan. And then from Bidmate out, Farah tried to take the mark. Fist got in the way. And now McKinney, he'll work it from half back. Now they kick it to the top of their forward line. Good mark there from Schwartz. He rolls around, skies it. I think that's Anderson at the fore of the ball. He stays down. Farah flew over the top. Pint with the numbers at ground level, just trying to work it out. Dangerous spot for them. Roy George picks it up off the ground and snaps. The umpire doesn't move. It's a goal, but there's been a free kick paid downfield. A long, long way away. And I think it might be going to Pint.
Yeah, there was a bit of push and shove down in Pint's forward line. I don't know where the umpire got that from, but closer to the contest than we are.
Much closer. So it'll be a free kick, top of the 50, about 65 out. Looks like this is Fulton, who's probably been their best player today, or one of their best. He goes to full forward. There's Tilling over the back. Can he take the mark? Or umpires let it go and it's ricocheted into the post. Unlucky. Another one gone missing for Pint to start this third quarter. 37-point margin here. Steve Motlop, he plays on from fullback, kicks down the line. Looking for Jai Bolton. Over the top, finds Farah. Long down the line to Will Farah. Comes off hands and over the boundary line. No, still alive. Farah's lurking, he's keeping dangerous. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Joe Farah's got into the game once you said he's been quiet.
Yeah.
The last few minutes.
Must have heard me and thought he'll try and prove me wrong. Snap goalwards for Southern Districts, but a lot of Pint plays there again. They've been pretty resilient on that last line of defence. They've seen a lot of it down there, and they're just weathering the storm. Not super well, but it could be a lot worse for them. Now they go out that far side, marked by Schott. Almost wanted to keep going. Goes through hands. Motlop claims he's held. Comes to Jack Sexton now. To Will Sexton. The brothers align. Good short, sharp pass there. I think that might be McQueen again. He goes out the far side to Bolton. Now inside 50. Will Farah. Free kick paid. Game stagnating a little bit here.
Tired legs.
Free kick going the way of Pendle, in fact.
Pints are just pushing numbers behind the ball. District's got 2 spare across half-back.
Now with Reeves. Over the top. He goes to McKimmie, but ball slipped through his fingers. George, he's putting some pressure on. Ball spills out over the boundary line. So, Southern Districts, well, both sides still looking for their first goal of the quarter. Goes through hands there. Tilly has 2 to beat. Oh, one of them thrown over. Giddings was thrown over without the ball. He'll get a free kick on the wing. Nearly wanted to give it off twice then, but didn't quite. Now goes to Stevie Motlop. Center of the ground finds Taj Stanley. Across onto the other wing. Now with Jack Sexton. Goes deep onto that forward flank. Will be taken all the way over the boundary line, and I think we'll have a boundary throw in from there.
Just composure there. Fed it back to Steve Motlop. Just controlled it. Waited for the right option. Just that leadership. Pints are lacking at the moment.
Ball up on that forward flank. Ryan takes it out and throws it on the boot, wrangles it forward. Good mark there from Reeves in the back line. Potentially looking at this side for a switch. He's got the runners, so he'll go there. Shot in his eyes. McCarthy picked it up off the half volley. A lot of pressure under him. He's got 2 to beat and he won't. He's stuck underneath both of them. Ball in his hands.
Credit to Pints, they've definitely settled it down a bit. Districts shooting goals.
And ball goes over the boundary line.
Big shout out to the volunteers, 2 o'clock game, all helping in this heat.
Yeah,
very both clubs.
Very hot weather.
Yes.
You'd want to be in that timekeeper's box today. Nice and cool in the aircon. Pint now away through Cameron. Grubber along the ground though. Will Sexton pounces. Try to get it. Tilly, he was almost first to it. Ball ricochets off him. Taj Stanley gets a handle away. Roy George picks it up.
Umpires. Oh.
So it'll be a free kick again going Pint's way. They're away on that far side. Not a good kick though.
Definitely had numbers out there, Pints.
Oh, and another poor kick the other way. The fatigue definitely starting to settle in. Here comes Jones running in for the first goal of the quarter. It's been a long time coming. And he gets that one through and lets his teammate or his opposition on the ground know about it. So the first of the quarter after 12 minutes goes to Andy Jones of Pint. 4-5-29. They close the margin to 31 points. Southern District's lead is still sitting at 9-6-60.
Lucky there, Pints. Districts turned it over, but credit to them. They were running forwards. Just got to keep their discipline.
And there's, a little bit. Oh, another free kick has been given to Jones from Will Sexton. Just a bit of poor discipline.
I thought it might have been the other way. No.
Both involved there.
Pints. Just got to discipline Districts.
Pint supporters very happy with that at the moment. So in comes Jones. And he lets them know about it. 2 in a minute. Poor discipline from Southern Districts. Margin back down now to 25 points.
He looks fit, Jones. He coming off, I think he had a knee injury 2 years ago and was getting back to his best. Looks fit. Last year he was a bit underdone. Scraped through the season, but this year he looks very fit.
Yeah, plays an important role for them. Hasn't really ever been their main key forward, but plays that good second or third forward well and pinch hits in the ruck when he needs to.
Bit of a test for Districts. If you're Rusker and Barnyard, you'd be pretty disappointed in their discipline the last couple of minutes. Get back and control the game.
So 4 goals, 1 the difference now. Riley Main doing the rucking now. Wind picking up a little bit, as you can hear through the microphones. Ryan almost wrestled to the ground by Main there. Pint work it forward. Brett kept his feet. Ball bounced through Clark's hands. Brett kept going. Sling tackle, and it will go the way of Pint. I think this will be in the hands of DeFagley.
I don't know why he's arguing.
Jackson Whitehill it is. He gives it off to Tom Reeves. It's crept up a long way from home.
I needed that Pints, but they're up and about at the moment.
Through for a behind. Now back to an even 4 goals. This game seemingly turning a little bit in front of us. We probably wouldn't have expected the first 2 goals to go to Pint and the margin reduced. Almost thought it would blow out the other way. But Pint seem to have a bit of belief and spunk in their step, don't they?
Yeah, they're definitely up and about. Watching them chatting and positive out there, which is a good sign. It's funny, Darwin footy, you're never out of the game.
Boundary throw in on that far forward flank. Anderson getting a shoulder over. Ball up now. Umpire calls play on. Now over the top, looking for George, but good work from Cameron again to get his hands on the ball, get involved.
Looks like both sides are getting a bit tired, fatigued. They're not hitting their targets. Districts like the first half, but credit to Pints if they could hit them targets.
Yeah, absolutely. Shows. Definitely looking pretty tight out there. Ball and the play has become a lot scrappier this quarter as well. We've seen a few turnovers. That first goal to Jones, I think, came after 3 turnovers in a row.
Jed's pushed up around the contest. I think he's been playing a bit forward today.
Breaking through the lines or running back through traffic, and Pint now going forward, but Stevie Motlop there gobbles it up. He's got Will Sexton in the middle of the ground, centre half back if he can get it to him. Probably didn't. It goes to Jack Sexton instead and wasn't clean, so Stevie Motlop now had to clean up his own mess and just soccers it along the boundary line. Pushed over. We'll have boundary throw in. Dangerous position for Pint. They kick it here. They'll be within 3 goals.
They've definitely got the crowd on their side, Pints.
Absolutely, and that will only continue to grow as the game goes on. Or as the margin shortens, I should say. Becomes a lot easier when you've got that 23rd man there. Jones has kicked the only 2 goals of the quarter, and now a high one into the centre corridor. Few flyers running through there now. Fuller. 2 Southern Districts players on that last line. One of them was Jack Sexton. He goes short, sharp out, finds McQueen. Connor Giddings calling for it. That's where he'll go, but it's an absolute stinker off the boot. Main couldn't compose it. He'll get a chance, though, on the run. Now he gets it off to McCarthy. Into full forward. And there'll be a push in the back going Pint's way. You can hear that crowd getting behind them.
Bit of a game changer. Steve got caught out then. 1 between 2. Misread it.
So Tillig deserves a goal for his efforts today. He has probably been one of their best players, if not their best. Those rotations coming thick and fast now. PINT changing all 4 on the bench with the break in play. Southern Districts with a couple as well. Oh, Tillig misses though. 23 points the margin. Needed to hit that one. So Motlop, short one out. Finds Bowden. Relatively quiet today, Bowden. Now goes out looking for George. Been all over the place. Pushes it down the line. Inboard. Braden Skeen McMahon, long way from home. Looking for McCarthy and Tillig. Ball still alive. I think it's just rolled over.
Just Pints are running and creating space a lot more, and Districts are flat-footed at the moment.
PINT peppering their forward line, but just not being smart and efficient with their forward entries, just bombing it in and wasting the opportunities that they do have. You look at the scoreline, it's 13 scoring shots to 15, so it's not all that different, but a 22-point margin still means it's well and truly Southern District's game at the moment.
Had opportunity, Pints, and unlucky. Their work rate's definitely lifted.
Oh, I think out of the ruck, Main try to get boot to ball, running through and roving there with Schwartz. Ball goes the wrong side of the boundary line, or of the point of the goalpost, sorry. Through for behind. As we tick to 20 and a half minutes, you'd think it'd be a short quarter with just the 2 goals scored. Can't be long. And both coaches would be pretty keen on maintaining the score as it is. Wouldn't want to give away a red time goal.
Definitely not as a coach. Red time's important. You try and defend.
Do you ever risk, or in what situations do you risk that red time goal if it means you might score one yourself, or do you think generally you just want to try and keep it?
Generally you just want to keep possession and stop the opposition, but when you're a couple of goals up you'll keep going, pushing forward, but when you're close like Pints are, I'd be just trying to slow it down for the next quarter to restart again.
Big Riley Main just looking a little bit ginger there. We'll keep an eye on him as we head into the third quarter break. Steve Motlop at half back though takes the mark. Main will keep going. Just copped a heavy hit, I think. Motlop, he'll go out that far side now. Taken by Ross. Hasn't seen a lot of it this quarter with the ball mainly in Pints forward line. Jones coming back on the ground just in front of us now.
Been quiet, Ross, today.
And there's that three-quarter time break. So it is a 23-point margin, 5-8-38 PINT, trailing Southern Districts 9-7-61. The game seems to be on their terms, though, so wouldn't take much for them to turn the game on its head. But they do have time against them, and more importantly, they've got heat against them. An absolute scorcher here at DXC Arena here in Marara. We will be back after this three-quarter time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to DXC Arena. Final quarter inbound for this round 4 clash between PINT and Southern Districts. It is a 23-point margin in favour of Southern Districts, but yet to really arrive in this second half. Didn't score a goal in that third quarter. PINT, meanwhile, peppered the forward line, but didn't really do too much damage. Just the 2 goals, both to Jones. One of those a free kick immediately after the first. And yeah, they've sort of gone from not really having much chance in this game to 1 or 2 goals off having a really big impact. On Willswar with me is Chris Bucks. Bucksy, which way do you reckon the tide's going to turn this quarter?
Oh, I think Districts will hold on, but credit to Pints if they can get the first 1 or 2. Definitely, they'll definitely be up and about and positive. The coach would have been Pints' coach would have been positive, I think, going into the last, and probably Districts would have been a bit fired up as a coach. Just a bit of discipline turned the game a bit. So hopefully they can get back on track. Yeah,
absolutely. I think Southern Districts still definitely have the superstars out there. If they can return to what they were doing in the first half, this game will be put beyond doubt. But for the meantime, PINT are making sure we've got a game on our hands, and the fourth quarter is away. Handball comes out to Fulton. He gets a handball, a loopy one over the top, only gets it as far as Sexton. Both the Sexton boys probably been 2 of the most impactful players on the field today. Will, a superstar in that first quarter, and the villain in the third. Jack being pretty consistent throughout. Ryan, handball down, working it through. I think this is Schwartz. Now gets it through. George just spilled it out. They've got 2 of them there. Can't work it through. Shannon and George. And now PINT, they swarm on them, the Green Ants. Kick it inside 50. Mark couldn't be taken. Brett, he's at the fall of it. Under a body, no arms on the ball. We'll have a ball up in that forward pocket.
It's Matt, Shannon and George. Just a bit of voice there. George obviously first game back for a while.
Now Sexton goes wide. Bolton, handball over the top. Bowden down that far side. He looks for Ross. Mentioned he's been quiet today. He has kicked a goal, but he could provide a target up forward for them. Inboard. Comes to shot. Now to Reeves. Nearly kicked a goal in that third quarter. That would have brought the house down. A long way from home. He's been playing the back line today, but he snuck up for an opportunity. Reeves again. This time he gets it out to Fulton. Handball back inboard, a shot. Goes inside 50. Mark spills over the back. Kicked off the ground towards goal. Through for a behind from Ben Brett.
Unlucky Ben Brett then. He was out. Should have picked it up, and obviously not points. Not enough talk out there. Players talking to him, telling him he's clear.
Stevie Motlop from fullback. Plays on, takes a bounce. And launches it long, looking for George. Oh! Flew, didn't quite get hands on it. It is a bit slippery out there. Imagine from all the sweat. It's a very hot day. Ball kicked forward. And then kicked across the face there from Fuller. Marked from McCarthy and then launched towards goal. And there's a mark to Riley Main. In fact, I don't think it is Riley Main. Just trying to work
Tillings. Tillings, I think.
He turns around, snaps it through. Reduces the margin now to just 16 points. So it was Tillig. Probably one of their better players. In fact, he was their best player in that first half, particularly the first quarter. Led the way for them on that half-forward line and deserves a goal.
Just points through the midfield. Their pressure was really good around the contest. They've definitely lifted, tackling and just getting numbers around the contest, the ball, making it hard for Districts to create space. credit to Pints.
Warning lights to be on for Southern Districts. Suddenly this game is back within 3 goals, and Pint aren't stopping there. They work it forward. Tillig stalking his opponents. Motlop, he takes it, gets a kick away. Had to be clean, and he was. Bolton marks it on half back. He goes down the line.
Bowden, I think. Good mark by Bowden.
Now he goes a short one. Back. They've stagnated up forward as well, Southern Districts. They don't really have anyone leading or providing any options, so they are kind of forced to go back and try a different angle, but no matter which way they look at it, there's just not enough movement up forward. And Pint, a lazy kick, sees the ball in hands of them up forward.
Definitely changed their game, Pints. They're more composed and taking their time, hitting their targets. They lifted their skill as well.
This will be Ben Brett, who was unlucky with his last shot on goal.
Very good forward, Benny Brett. Yeah, his work rate when he's up and about, he's hard to defend.
See what he can do here. Brett strolling in. Kicks truly. Made the umpire work, but it's through the big sticks. 10 points the difference. And that crowd getting louder and louder.
Districts just look a bit flat at the moment. They definitely need to lift their leaders. Bit flat. Got to create space, start running. Very important centre clearance for Pints.
Ball up in the middle of the ground. Shannon bounces off his legs. Thought his opponent got the ball, so offered a tackle. Didn't quite stick it though. Here comes Farrah. As you mentioned, a big game player. Ball spills over the boundary line. And it's bounced off his legs, so it'll be a free kick going Pints' way to Fulton. Unlucky there.
Very unlucky. I don't know what that was for. Out on full.
I think it might have come off his feet as it bounced over the boundary line. But Big White Ryan's there to mark and make amends. Farrah, he'll have a go at it now. They're going to try and get him involved in the game here. From here, you'd say. He'll launch it long, inside 50. Will Farrah lurking at the back. Didn't launch for it. Paddled through. That might not have been the move. Schwartz, he taps it through. And that's a goal to Southern Districts. They desperately needed that. Their first the second half. Comes 7 minutes into this final quarter.
Yes, needed that one. Bo running front and centre, then got behind the ball. But Joe Farrah's, just his attack on the ball here, sort of stepped up a little bit. Created that contest, which is really good. Hopefully he can drag the rest of the Districts boys with him. Big contest for the ruckman here for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. The game's getting to that point where time's about to become a factor, and Pint want to make sure that when it does, they're still well and truly involved. Southern Districts, they can close out the game here with an extra goal in the next few minutes or so. But Pint, they'll break away from the middle of this centre clearance. Good mark at half forward. To Jackson Whitehill. There's two of the Whitehill boys out there today. He kicks it to the hot spot. Good punch from behind from Giddings. Bounces off their legs. And then towards the boundary line. That wind picking up again.
Credit to Josh McCarthy. He's rucked most of the day and he's undersized. He's done a really good job, I feel, against White.
Yeah, Ryan always going to win that contest, but it probably hasn't been as easy or as one-sided as you would have thought. He wins that hit out. And and a ground level in the centre as well. It's been a pretty even contest, which means that what Wyatt Ryan has won, not necessarily always to advantage of his team. Whistle blown. Might be from one of the other fields out the back. Big kick down the line there from Shannon. Kept it alive and kept bouncing. We'll have a boundary throw and well down the line. Very good kick there.
Yeah, an advantage for districts. They'd be happy with that, to be able to reset.
Punch there by Wyatt Ryan. Again, just over the boundary line. So they wouldn't mind holding it up here either. Obviously, it's a hot day, a lot of tired bodies. A few seemingly half put the cue back in the rack already. But they want to make sure they finish the job here. Pine, on the other hand, still charging. They need to open the game up if there are any chances as well. Can't have this stagnant play.
Yeah, Pints just want to take it on and get it forward at all cost.
Ryan taps it down. Good strong tackle there from Bidmaid. Try to get a handball out. Anderson in his lap. Oh, stolen like a thief in the night, and then kick forward from Pint. No one there though except Stevie Motlop, and he'll switch. He's got a runner on this side. Instead he'll cut even sharper. Brilliant kick to Jalen Clark in the middle of the ground.
Interesting Stevens' marks today.
Yeah, he's been very good on half back there, just playing that sort of loose sweeping role. Kick and a half behind play.
Just reads the play so well. I'm sure Pints would be wishing he was in their back line.
Absolutely. Cut me off a lot of blokes as well. He probably knows how and when they're going to kick it. How, when and where they're going to kick it, I should say. There goes Chapman. Almost tackled without it. Free kick paid, or no, we'll have a ball up again.
Ball up.
Pint work it out now. Launch it forward. Pseudo barrel. Taj Stanley.
Ooh.
Oh, just tackled into the ground there.
Dangerous tackle, no.
Ball
Play
up.
with it.
Absorbed it very well. I think the tackle came from the big Andy Jones, who kicked the 2 goals of that third quarter. He'd be feeling pretty good about himself. Maybe he can kick a few more in this last quarter off his boot. Chasing hard now. Skeen McMahon. Oh, good tackle there from Jones. Skeen McMahon putting on the pressure as well. Southern Districts couldn't find Bidmate on the full and just spills out over the boundary line.
Pints got to just hold a bit of composure here and try and win this contest, doing everything right.
So ball comes in, Ryan taps it down beautifully, but again not really to a target. Kick forward there by Cooper Whitehill. Now in the centre corridor, McCarthy, he kicks a goal, brings it back now to 10 points the margin. Alex McCarthy, as we mentioned, or I think it's Josh McCarthy who's been playing a little bit in the ruck, but I think Alex has swung in there a little bit as well. A few weeks ago I saw him playing against TIO, and he sort of played a little bit all over the ground, just as another big where they need a big key target or key defender. But he snuck through for a goal there.
And Riley Maines put himself in the ruck to give Josh a rest. So. And Districts must have someone else. White's not in there at the moment.
Looks like it'll be Giddings again coming, subbing in from the back line. Schwartz and Johnston join him. Cooper Whitehill in the middle for Pint. Oh, Big Main, he's taken it out and just thrown it on the boot to get it forward. Oh, good mark at half forward. Here come the Green Ants. Oh, kicked it into the man on the mark there. Maybe got ahead of himself a little bit. Shannon potentially, no, in fact it's Johnson potentially taken off the ball. Snap on goal, blazed away and just to behind. 9 points the difference. Matt Shannon calling for it long. Sort of goes in that general direction, but looking more for Jordan Johnson. Oh, big Andy Jones, he's taking the mark.
It's very good points, just getting it forward at all cost. Forwards are in front, creating space. Districts have just stopped running at the moment. Very important shot, this one, for Jones.
Here he comes, looking for his third. And he gets it, so the margin is in single figures.
Thomas Reeves then, great kick from the back of the contest to get it in the hot spot.
Yeah, Pint definitely have come to spoil a party here. A boil over is brewing, not in front yet, but they're looking good.
I don't think Districts won a clearance, have they, this quarter?
Don't think so, and 4 goals in favour of Pint. Southern Districts just the one. McCarthy, Main, Jones and Tillig all with goals. For Southern Districts, Bo Schwartz, just an easy one from the goal line. Pint, as we say, they're not done yet. Oh, that's a mark, called play on. Shark forward. Giddings playing a role there. Lets it go through to his teammate. Good mark from Geordie Johnson. No, goes through his arms. Pint, very strong, very stingy in defence at the moment.
Ooh, unlucky there, I thought, but good second effort.
Free kick paid to Jordan Johnson.
Just his attack on the ball then.
Been much quieter today. Yet to hit a major. Bit of wind swirl in the air. How will that affect his kick? He comes in. Must get for Southern Districts. That one's well wide. Just through for a behind. They'd be wanting to lock it in here, Southern Districts. They've really let this game slip out of control since half-time. Reeves from full-back. Good long kick. Jones the target. Gathers it up. He's playing some game. Kicks it wide. Not a good kick, though. Will find Skene McMahon, and he hits the boundary line with the ball in hand. Couldn't make something of that.
Very good then Jones to hit up high half forward to make an option. Chilling's full forward at the back of the forwards, directing everyone in front of him.
Riley Main in the ruck there. I think that'll be a free kick going.
Or rethrow.
Or rethrow, yep. And yeah, getting still in the ruck there. So Ryan possibly waiting. Oh, you can't see him on the field, which means he must be waiting on the bench, getting a little rub down. For Districts, you'd hope he's not done for today.
You'd be trying to get Jed Anderson on too.
Yeah, he's there waiting as well. Ball's on the wrong side of the field for them. We tick towards 18 minutes, maybe 5 minutes left of play. Motlop, he gets it out to a runner. Now they go down the line. Looking for Bidmaid. He gets it on the run now and gets it back in board, this time to Ross. Ross, not a great kick. Made Johnson work for it, bodied himself well. Here comes Farah, he picks it up, gets a handball out.
Or too high. Oh no.
High tackle, but I think he ducked into it. Binged him for holding the ball.
Must be a different angle.
Come on, Sporty! We're just on, boys!
It looks like he'll come out this near side, potentially. That's an in for Anderson and Wyatt Ryan on the bench for Southern Districts. No one going to swap with him just yet.
Jed and White are trying to get on.
They know that they're much needed on there.
Pull anyone off who's close.
Riley Main, or try to shark it out of the ruck contest there. Instead, it's launched forward there from Reeves, who's been very good this second half. And now Matt Johnson comes off for Anderson. Giddings gets off for Ryan. So they have made those changes. A few minutes left. 19-15 we tick into this last quarter. High half forward. Work it backwards. Now it's with Sexton. Launches it inside 50. 1-on-1. No mark could be taken. Spills over the boundary line. A lot of Green Ants in their defensive 50.
There's no player behind centre line. The Pints forward. So they're all rolled up.
Pint need to win this one. Southern Districts, if they can keep it in their forward line, squeeze through a goal, they'll be very happy with that. But here comes Pint on the turnaround, work it down. Neild is the target. Takes a mark running back with the flight. He'll look to move quickly. Tillig is going hard and fast. Not a good kick though. Probably ran a bit too far. And Sexton takes the mark. He'll switch to George. George has Shannon. That's where he'll go. Shannon all by himself. He's got Anderson on a short lead. Won't go to him. He'll go one step further. Not a good kick there either though. That's marked by Smythe. Goes a short one back in board. Now with Fulton. He finds shot. Now he goes down the line. Top of half forward. Punched through there from Shannon. He caresses it towards the boundary line. Done that very well. 21 minutes we're approaching in the fourth quarter. 4-point ball game on a knife's edge. Pint haven't hit the lead in this game yet. What can they conjure up? Or will Southern Districts hold on?
Need to win this contest. Good spot for Pints.
Comes in now. Big White Ryan taps it down beautifully, and Southern Districts work it forward. Johnson takes a chest mark easy. He'll hold it up here, you think? No, he looks to move quickly onto the lead of Farah. He's got Ross running back towards the square. He says, hold up. I think he's going to go back, burn some time off the clock and have a shot. We know the wind has been swirly, so he'd want to make sure that whatever he does here, he hits a target or he hits the scoreboard in a big way. Yet to kick a major today. Kicks towards goal, and that has gone through. Will Farah puts the 9 points up, 10 points up now. That makes it very hard for Pint. 9-10-64, Pint trailing Southern Districts, 11-8-74 as we tick towards 22 and a half minutes in this final quarter.
Wouldn't think there'd be too much time left.
No. I think if Southern Districts, if Pint's any chance, they need to get a goal straight out of the middle here and then go back and reload again. Not to be though, Shannon. Here comes Reeves off half back. He launches it inside 50. Tillig can't take the mark. Sexton picks it up, wrapped around. He'll get a high free kick. And you'd think from here he soaks it up. Looks for a loose man. He goes out that far side. Now finds McQueen. Pushes it down. Big White Ryan. Been dominant in the ruck today.
Great body work by Ross.
Good work from Ross, who, as we said, hasn't had the busiest day, but he's just done what he's needed to do. Now worked back inside, picking it up. Anderson will come back forward. Now George. Handball over. He'll run back through. Ball still in the scrimmage. Sexton, he works it out now. Gets a handball forward. Pint Clock against them.
Good contest.
Big contest in the middle. And they've got a loose man running forward. Instead, they just go ahead to the contest. Main couldn't take the mark. Great defence. Motlop stripped of the ball. There'll be a free kick going Pint's way. They need to be pretty bloody quick here because there can't be much longer left.
Yeah, it goes.
And there goes the siren. So he'll line up for a shot on goal. It won't matter in the end. The Southern Districts will be winners. It just depends by how much. 11-8-74 they will finish on. And looks like it'll be Riley Tillig lining up for his second to determine the final margin of this one. So close for Pint today, but unfortunately not enough. Done very well against the powerhouse, the competition this year, as Tillig absolutely shanks it. So the score will stand 9-10-64. In the end, it didn't matter. 10-point margin, and Southern Districts will go into round 5 on top of the ladder. Buxy, who did you see as the better players today?
Yeah, well, credit to Pints. I thought Tillins was best on and underrated. I thought he'd done a lot of work with Tommy Schultz, their captain,